What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Week 7 Monday Night Football breakdown here on Sharp Sports Network. I'm your host, Joe Bewer, and I'm going to be giving you my favorite plays here on the slate. But before we do that, I'm going to transition over here to the landing page of our website, where you will find some of our incredible apparel designs, whether it's for baseball, basketball, or football, or just some SSN merch. You will be able to find all of that here on Sharp Sports Network. If you wouldn't mind supporting us, copying a shirt, it would mean a ton. We are really putting some effort into this, trying to make this as amazing of an experience as possible for you guys, not just information and videos. So if you wouldn't mind copying one and showing us some support, that would be awesome. So just do a quick recap of last night. We had the Eagles game, and we had all the right plays on the cheat sheet, just didn't put it all together in the lineup. Some people cashed, some people didn't. I'm not going to call it a total loss, not going to call it a great win. The past 2 weeks before that, we've absolutely crushed GPPs. We have just been well above. So I'm looking to bounce back here with an incredible game today. I think it's going to be very chalky in certain positions, but I'm ready to dive into this. Not a lot of information right now as far as injuries. Things are still up in the air with New England. We're not sure if Philip Dorsett is going to play or not. Josh Gordon has already been rolled out for the receiving corps. So that leaves a lot of the heavyweight receiving going to be on Julian Edelman, which I think is going to be incredible for us here, because I think I'm going to want to be captaining Julian Edelman in a lot of lineups here. It's a little expensive, but I think it's garnered. He's received 24 targets in the past 2 games. Just so many targets going his way. He's had a back-to-back 100 receiving yard games, 2 touchdowns in the past 4 weeks. He's just been leading in receptions, and that's definitely how it's been in previous years. Tom Brady loves Julian Edelman. He's always loved him. So I think Julian Edelman is going to be a very, very big focal point of this core that we're going to want to build here. Now, building the rest is going to be really tough. There's only one certain spot on the New York Jets that I kind of want to target, but I think that you have to going to have to get Tom Brady in there at some point. I think this is a game where Tom Brady's really going to control the clock like he usually does with Edelman, just really play precisely. I think this is going to be a very good spot for Edelman to really shine. I think this is another 100-yard performance. I think this is a great buy high spot actually on Julian Edelman. I have a feeling he's going to be fairly chalky. Now, for cash games and GPPs, it's going to be a little different. Julian Edelman's probably not going to be your captain in cash games or in GPPs. You're going to really have to diversify here. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to go kicker for captain because of how expensive these people are. But like I said, this is just a first, kind of glance over what we're kind of looking at here on this slate. You'll get more in-depth on the private roster construction video if you're a member. But Tom Brady and Julian Edelman are my 2 favorite so far in New England. I really do like James White. With the loss of Rex Burkhead last week, he didn't play much. James White has just been a target master for Tom Brady. Back-to-back 9-target games with a 10-game performance before that. Catches on DraftKings are important, so James White is like a fantasy superstar. I really like James White tomorrow. The price tag of $7.4K isn't too hard. I could see you captaining James White here at the price tag of 11.1, getting in Edelman and Brady and having more money to really kind of mess around with, because on this side of the Jets, I really think that Jamison Crowder has been kind of showing up. I think he's going to get a lot of targets. He's been getting a lot of targets. First game back with Sam Darnold, he got 9 targets. I think this is going to be a great spot. I really want to be overweight on New England here. They have the top defense in the league. Their defense is 7.2K on this slate. I can agree and wholeheartedly believe in paying up for them. They played the Jets earlier this year, had 11 fantasy points. Wasn't crazy, but in the 3 previous weeks, especially away, they have been incredible. So I have no interest really in Sam Darnold or Le'Veon Bell. Just looking at the matchup, they have a number 2 passing defense, number 2 rushing defense, and total overall first defense in the league. They're only allowing 73.7 rushing yards per game and 161 passing yards per game. I have no interest in Le'Veon Bell. He's strictly GPP. I have no interest in Sam Darnold. I have a lot of interest in as many New England guys as I can fit in here. Like I said, between Jamison Crowder and Robbie Anderson, those are pretty much going to be the only 2 guys that I'm going to be interested in here. If Demaryius Thomas goes out, I don't see any reason why you shouldn't play James White and Julian Edelman. Now, there's a lot of other receivers that are going to kind of come out of the woodworks here for New England. Somebody like Jacoby Myers, who had 4 targets last week for 54 yards. He's 5,600. There's going to be a lot of guys that you're going to be able to, somebody like Brandon Bolden, who can catch check down passes. So there's going to be a lot of players that are going to come into play if these players get rolled out. Somebody like Slater here down low, who doesn't really get much, but this could be a time where, these players come in and sort of shine. But at least for DraftKings purposes, I think this is a very, very good start. I think you can get in both kickers this way. Like I said, last night we had kickers galore. Brett Maher kicked a 63-yard field goal. It was incredible. We're getting a lot of kicker action here lately. If Philip Dorsett plays, I love Philip Dorsett. The targets are through the roof. Same deal. I really want to be overweight here on these players. I really want to be overweight on as many of these guys as I can. So, as far as FanDuel, or as far as DraftKings, I really like James White at captain. It gives you a little bit more. For GPP purposes, for cash games, I like Julian Edelman. If we go over to NFL Savant, just to kind of give you a little clear image, through the week so far, Julian Edelman by far the total receiving targets of 61. He has led the team. James White just behind with 38. Now keep that in mind, James White is a running back, so that is a very, very good to see. Josh Gordon, same thing so far. Red zone targets, James White is a red zone master. James White and Julian Edelman should be locked in, loaded in all of your lineups. FanDuel and DraftKings tomorrow. You cannot sleep on Julian Edelman and James White. They have to be a part of the lineup. Total rushes, Sony Michel, he's always going to be the leading rusher. If this game gets out of hand and the Patriots start leading, Sony Michel is going to eat. He is going to absolutely eat. He has 3 touchdowns on the year. Red zone rushes. He has 19 red zone rushes. I can see playing Sony Michel over here on DraftKings. The price is not too bad at $7.8K. I just prefer the upside of James White. So for me, James White would be get the nod here. So overall, just a recap on DraftKings. You have to play James White, have to play Julian Edelman and Tom Brady. The rest is to be determined. I like Jamison Crowder. I think you can buy lower on Robbie Anderson if you wanted. Same level of upside, same targets, and you can go with both kickers. That leaves you with 1,900 left. You can do whatever you'd like with that. So you just have to pay. So I mean, you could even go as far as a Sony Michel, Tom Brady, Edelman, and White with just the Jets kicker, and you'd have 900 left over. That's just a sample lineup of something you could do. So I just think in GPPs, you can't be playing Edelman or Brady at captain, which is what nobody's going to do. But cash games, I think Edelman and James White are the 2 captains that I'm leaning towards right now. I'll go over a little bit more in depth once I get for the private members for the roster construction. So just to kind of give you a quick glance over here, before we move over at the targets of the Jets, Jamison Crowder, Robbie Anderson, pretty high up there within 4 targets of each other. Besides that, Le'Veon Bell catches a few check down passes, but it's primarily Crowder and Robbie Anderson. Total red zone targets, you have somebody like Ryan Griffin who you can punt if they can get close. And then Le'Veon Bell, like I said, leads the entire team in rushes, red zone, and just normal. So let's move on over here to FanDuel, where the pricing is a little bit different and things go a little bit differently over here on FanDuel. Just the same as last night when we had Dak Prescott and Carson Wentz. You could play them both on DraftKings, which we ended up doing and helped a few of people cash. But on FanDuel, you couldn't. The pricing was way too similar, and that is the exact same case that it is right now. Tom Brady and Sam Darnold are way too close. So for me, I still think Julian Edelman and Tom Brady are a must. I still like Julian Edelman at captain just because of the upside. And Sony Michel for me is a strictly GPP play at 13.5. Think James White at 10K is a must play. He is very much so in play. And then you're kind of looking in this 10K range for some other players. I like Jamison Crowder, cheaper. And then you can go with a kicker. You can go with Philip Dorsett if he's in. You'd be very overweight on these guys here. So you have to pick a side. You won't be able to just you won't be able to get both players in. It just won't make any sense. So same as DraftKings, I think it's a Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, and James White kind of day. I think Julian Edelman's got to be the captain. On FanDuel, it makes the most sense. You can get him in. You love him at captain on FanDuel. On DraftKings, he's a little tougher because he's 2K more, almost 3K more on DraftKings than he is on FanDuel. So I really like Julian Edelman here on FanDuel a lot, averaging 13 fantasy points per game. I mean, we could just look at the targets here. He's been getting 15 targets last game, 9, 7, 10. He's been getting the targets. He will always get the targets. He's Tom Brady's favorite guy. So Julian Edelman is an absolute lock. James White is going to be an absolute lock, especially with Josh Gordon out. If Josh Gordon was in, it would be a different story. If Philip Dorsett plays, I like him at 8.5K here. Brandon Bolden, not too interested. And I'm not really too interested in Demaryius Thomas either. There's just not a lot of guys in this low tier that you're really going to pay for, so you kind of have to mess with this upper tier. I don't like playing kickers on FanDuel. I think they're overpriced at 8.5 and 9K. So for me, I think you can play in this range. Le'Veon's priced appropriately. Sony Michel is way too overpriced at 13.5K. So for me, it would have to be a core of these three again. I think these just make the most sense. You can play as many Patriots as you want, and I will have no objection. Like I said, they don't do defenses here on FanDuel, so you don't have to worry about the Patriots defense at all. I would just want to be overweight as possible on both sites for Patriots players here. James White, Tom Brady, and Julian Edelman are the core on both sites. They must be in all your lineups. I can see them in both GPP and cash. As far as the Jets players, I'm on Jamison Crowder and I'm on Robbie Anderson. Those are the two players that I'm on. They lead the team in targets, and Sam Darnold loves them both. When he gets in trouble and they get down and it's going to be a shootout, I think Sam Darnold is just going to be heaving. He's going to be going for James Crowder. He's going to be going for Robbie Anderson, and they can catch. Don't get me wrong, they can catch. So I have no doubt in my mind that these players will be able to at least gain some catches from Sam Darnold. So they should be able to rack up the fantasy points, but the majority of your fantasy points is going to come from the side of the Patriots. Like I said, number one overall defense, only allowing 73 yards per game, allowing the least touchdowns as well throughout the first 7 weeks of football. They're also only allowing 171 passing yards per game, which is the lowest, or second lowest in the NFL. This is a pass rushing team that is just going to bully Sam Darnold. Le'Veon Bell is going to have the worst day ever tomorrow. And I think this is just a day for the Patriots to shine, kind of run down the clock. Use the hell out of Julian Edelman and James White, check down passes and slant routes. I think this is going to be a day where Tom Brady has quite the day. So with that being said, hope everybody enjoyed this breakdown. If you are a member, make sure to check the website around 1 to 2 Central Time tomorrow for the private roster construction and cheat sheet. Don't miss out on that because you're definitely going to want to check that out before making your lineups. With that being said, appreciate all the support, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Good luck tomorrow, and we will see you on Thursday night for another Showdown breakdown. Peace.